What's up, fam? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I'm having a shitty day like always, but it is. Guys, we're trying progressive New England clam chowder. Okay, so by progressive, I can never say it right. The calories in this, it has 170 carbs in it, or however you say it. Sugar wise is 2. That's not bad actually. Fat is 0. Let's see if it has any vitamin D. It has vitamin D, what I need. No MSG, none of that other stuff. So we're gonna try it. Progressive's New England clam chowder for the people who say I can't read. And no, I did not memorize it. And we're having a raisin bagel that I kind of burnt. And we have our little miniature waters. Okay, so let's say grace and let's dig in. Dear God, bless this food in Jesus' name, amen. All right, so we have a busy weekend coming up. My bestie and his family are coming through to come visit me and my fam. And then my niece will be here with us, so the kiddos will get to play. And then I think my son is coming. I don't know. We're kind of mad at each other, so I don't even know if he'll want to come. He might not want to come. But anyways. And then me and my mom had a big blow up last night, like always. I'm thirsty. Oh, shit. I was thirsty. Now watch me have an issue burping. Watch. Like normal people could just burp. I can't. But I'm gonna end up. Oh, that is a picture. Okay, so that's my mom. That's my little brother. That's me. Let you guys see it up closer. Okay, so that's me, my mom, and my little brother. That was a story time. Actually, I can tell you guys. Oh, and this is a painting that I made with my sister for my 30th or 30 35th birthday. So not last year, but yeah. No, 34th birthday. And then that's from when my mom went to Noah's Ark. That video I was supposed to make for you guys that never happened. But anyways, let me tell you guys about this picture. So I'll never forget. And you would think that my mom is a single mom of just 2 boys, but she actually has 6 kids. My dad was out of town, right? I'm trying to think, where was he? He was out of town, and my mom would always make me and my brother, like since I was like a little kid, Sears, because she was a big membership of Sears, right? So she would always make, did I say grace? Dear God, bless this food, bless this time, and pray for our nation, and pray for me, and just help me, give me patience. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, so, I should just try it by itself. Let me try it by itself first. Let me tell you, because the only clam chowder that I'm used to is the one from Red Lobster. It's so good. Or the one from Golden Corral. But they just closed all our Golden Corrals here in Florida. So there's no more left. Let me taste it. You can smell the fish. I hope I don't get sick. It's good. It's good. The potatoes need a seasoning to them. Some type of seasoning base. That's what they do need. So with the bagel, you're getting the raisin, the sweet with the salty. Oh my God. One of my favorites. So anyways, let me tell you about that picture behind me. This one. So it was holiday season, right? Hence to my mom's wearing white. And I think I think my brother was 9 or 6 or no. He had to be 9 or 8. Somewhere around there. I was like 12 or 13, right? Me and him, we weren't close. Well, were we? I don't know, but that was when she made us she would cut our hair ourselves. And she would always give us like the army haircut, fade on the side, hair on the top. Kind of like what Jama always gives me. That looks like a landing pad on my face. So, anyways, so we went to Sears. And I think it was a fun day because at this time we were renting. It was right before we moved here. So I had to be like 14. That picture, I could tell you exactly when we took that picture. Exactly. I just remember now. That picture was taken a week before I got kicked out of the house for 7 months. In that picture, me and my brother were fighting like the day before, the day of, or like a few minutes before, because we both felt like nerds. I hate to this day, I hate a button-up white shirt. It has nothing to do with me being fat. Even when I was skinny, I hated the collar. I hated feeling trapped. It's just something around my face. I think it has to do with when I was asthmatic, really super, super bad in the hospital. I always had that nebulizer machine on my face, and to this day, I still hate it. So anyways, and even when during COVID, I hated wearing masks. I would get claustrophobic. I hated it, but I had to do it. But anyway, well, the holidays were coming up. My mom wanted some pictures done, so I think she took us out because my mom. This is how my mom works. She would butter us up by like, all right, so boys, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go get some pictures done, some holiday pictures, and we're gonna go have lunch, and then just hang out, right? So me and my brother loved to eat. At that time, we loved buffets. There was a Chinese buffet that was super close to this mall that was like our family always went. It was the best buffet in the world, right? So we were like, okay, we're gonna get to go eat, some really good food. So I remember this day. Oh, this is really milky. Never mind, I don't like it. It's really milky. Like all I taste is milk. Not the best, Progressive. Oh my God. So, I don't know. So we took the picture. We had fun that day. Then the next day was the incident where she told the police I threatened her with a broom. And I really did not. And my brother knew how to poke until I would respond. And then he would play the victim like, oh, but Mom, I didn't do anything. He just attacked me. And she always fell for it every time. Even other family members would see what happened and try to tell her. And she would be like, oh, you're taking Matthew's side. Oh, you're taking Matthew's side. And they're like, no, Jack, we just watched what happened. Matthew was sitting here not bothering anybody. And then he came in and started pushing him or poking him or whatever. And Matt just responded like a bully. And so, anyway, it needs a lot of salt. I'm sorry, guys. All I taste in me is like, when you make watered down milk, like after you're done drinking the soda or after you're done having your cereal, and how the milk is like, it just has a weird taste to me. That's what this tastes like. Like watered down milk. Like they had no season. They just threw everything in the can, didn't season it, didn't do nothing, put more milk than really anything else. It's nasty. I will not eat this again. But I have to finish it. Oh, anyway. So I got kicked out. I was told, I will never forget what happened. I don't know. If you guys are new here, let me tell you the story. So the incident happened. It was no one got hurt. Nothing happened. I never put my hands on anybody. I was never that violent, ever. So I remember my mom was calling people at the church. She was calling around. She was trying, because she wanted to keep it in the family instead of just dropping me off at some social, one of those places for people, right? So she was calling around. She was trying to find, hey, can you take Matthew just for the weekend? Hey, can you take Matthew just for like the weekend? Certain people were like, I would, but I'm out of town. A lot of people. So she found this family that I used to babysit for all the time. And so the mother was a doctor and she loved me and the kids loved me, especially her son loved me a lot. So they were like, yeah, we can take him. We'll take him. That picture was like on a Tuesday. So like Wednesday, I remember my dad was out of town, remember? So she does her whole sob story like she did actually last night. He fell for it like always. I didn't even talk to him. I refused to talk to him. So I remember we went to Walmart. Back then in the game section, my brother would always go to the games because he loved video games. They would let you play the Nintendo, the DS, the Xbox 360, the PlayStation, and then you would look up like this and you'd be playing the whole time and your neck would hurt because it was free games that you could play. If it was like Mario Kart, Halo, Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, some Disney games, whatever it was, right? That was how they got the kids hooked during the holidays and stuff, or even any time, right? So my brother would always go to that section as soon as he knew we were going to Walmart, and because my mom would not let us have video games at the time. So he would always go to the video game section as my mom was shopping. I would always go to the magazine section and I would read Popstar magazine. That's like how I kept up with my celebrities. I always wanted to be a journalist. I always wanted to be like Wendy Williams or TMZ or any of that stuff, right? It wasn't like it is nowadays. It is definitely not like it was nowadays because the people who were actually in these magazines were actors. They were not social media influencers. They were not any of this stuff because YouTube was only known for just music. But this was like way before Justin Bieber. This was at the time, it was like Aaron Carter, the Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears, Lindsay Lohan, Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie, Beyonce, Destiny's Child. Like it was all that stuff that were in these magazines, right? And the girl, I forget who she is, but I think her father or her grandfather ran Popstar, and then she was like the editor or whatever, right? And so she was the ones who would go around, meet the celebrities, take pictures, and then put in the stories, right? I want to see what my celebrities were doing, right? So that's where I would stand usually when I would go to Walmart or any grocery store. But I gotta tell, oh my God. I gotta tell you guys another story, but I'll tell you it later because I'm not proud of it at all. And I'm actually trying to tell my son not to do this either, but I think I've messed up already. But anyways, so my mom was like, okay, Matthew, you can't go off. You got to stay with me because I got to go get you all your toiletries. So she got me deodorant, shampoo, conditioner. She got me a little tote bag, you know, like when you fly and stuff with all my little toiletries in it. Cause I was not supposed to be staying that long. And then she got me some snacks. Like back then you used to be able to get the Pringles, 2 Pringles in a bag for like $2. So my favorite was always the original or the sour cream and onion. They didn't have all these other flavors out at all. Pizza was new. Pizza wasn't even out yet, right? And then I think she got me a few bottles of soda or something. Like my favorite soda at that time was like Sprite at the time. Oh my God, look. Oh my God, I just spilled on me. I'm gonna smell like fish all day. I'm gonna take a shower and wash this shirt. I am not smelling like fish all day. I'm so disappointed in this. I wish I would have grabbed something else. Like, I don't know. This is disgusting. Oh, I'm so mad at you guys. But anyways, so we left Walmart. We went to the lady's house. Her son was with her ex-husband at the time. And she's like, oh, he wants you to sleep in his room. He's all excited. He wants you to sleep in his room. He made up the bed and everything. He's all excited because he had like these really cool bunk beds or whatever. And this family made good money, right? This is a doctor. And the husband was like some type of, I forget what his job was. So I'm like, okay, cool. So it was like, we got there at like 7, 8 o'clock at night. I don't know, for whatever reason, I feel like the hours and the days were longer when we lived in Ohio. I don't know why when I was a little kid. Like, it just felt like the days were so much longer. I don't know why. But, so anyways, I remember she left and I wasn't really like, I wasn't sad or nothing. Like, it was the first time I was going to be away from my mom or my brother. And I wasn't really sad. I was still mad at her. for taking his side. Um, I remember she gave me a hug and a kiss. She left. My brother gave me a hug. They left. It was cold. This is Wednesday night. Or no, this was Tuesday night. Because Wednesday night was church. And we had to go because they had, they called it, oh my God, what's it was called? Something. It was like Boy Scouts or something or whatever, right? And so I remember we would go. And so I had to go, right? So I remember that night, when my parents left, or when my mom left, she was so sweet. Like, she made me some hamburgers and French fries. And then we just sat and talked, and she talked to me, and she asked me questions and whatever. She was like, listen, she's like, you're not in trouble, sweetie. Don't think you're in trouble. You did not, like, she's like, you did nothing wrong. You know, she was like, just talk to me and tell me what happened, da da da. So I told her, and then she's like, sweetie, you're okay. It's fine. Like, you're fine. Like, nothing's wrong. Like, you're not in trouble. And I explained to her, and she's like, yeah, that's sad, you know, because she was a therapist. So she knew how to talk to kids. She was so hot. Oh my God, she was so hot. Then it was just me and her in the house that night. And so we stayed downstairs because in Ohio has basements, right? So downstairs was like a big theater. So I think me and her we watched Toy Story, Milan, Sound of Music, some other movies, just a lot of happy movies. And we just talked, and I loved her. She was so sweet. She made us some popcorn. We got on the couch. Oh my God, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not why I'm nervous today. We sat on the couch, we talked. And then all I remember is like falling asleep, waking up the next morning. She was already up, dressed, showered, ready. And she's like, wake up, sweetie. And then I went upstairs, got dressed, took the shower. Then we had to go pick up the kids. They were happy to see me, like so happy. And then that night we went to Bible study because she was in the Bible study. I was with the kids. I remember her son sat in my lap the whole time because, you know, he was the big brother. He didn't have a big brother. And then it was just fun. I remember him. And then my dad came back that Friday because now it's like Friday, right? So my dad came out that Friday and my mom was like, I'm ready for Matthew to come home. And my dad's like, no. I need to go talk to him first. I need to set him straight. So my dad comes over to the house. At this time, they were going away for the weekend. So I went to this other family without my mom knowing that I was shipped off to another, or sent over to another family who lived next door, just until the doctor got back from her. They had some vacation and they didn't know I was coming. So there were no tickets for me. So they're like, we'll just be back on Sunday. You can just stay with them one night or 2 nights. We just need you to stay with them Friday, Saturday, and we'll be back Sunday. And we'll get you after, when they get in the morning. So I'm like, okay, because I did not like this family because they were just so strict and they were vegetarians and da-da-da-da. My dad worked with the dad and I did not like it. I was told I was coming home on Sunday. That's what I was told. After church on Sunday, I was coming home. That's what I'm told me. So my dad came home. Anyway, I was friendly with the kids because we grew up together and I had a crush on the older sister. So we were hanging out in the basement downstairs. Guys, basements in Ohio are big. It's like a whole nother, it's almost like an underground home because people have like kitchens and washer and dryers and bathrooms and there's back doors to get into it just was fun, right? So they were homeschooled. So they had one room where it was homeschooling. They had another room, then they had a guest room. I stayed downstairs in the guest room the first 2 nights. And it was kind of scary because I wasn't used to being by myself. So it was kind of scary. And the house made noises. And this is like a big mansion, guys, like a really nice mansion, like what I have now. Back then, we didn't have it like that. We had good money, but my mom and dad didn't believe in wasting it in material stuff. So we lived in a farmhouse, but the farmhouse was gorgeous. It was big. It had 6 bedrooms. It had 5 baths. It was just a gorgeous house. But to society nowadays, that house would not be considered fancy, you know? But anyways, back then it was. So, and I can still show you guys pictures. It's a beautiful house. And it's for sale. They want like 15 grand for it. I want it, but I don't have money like that. Even though there's bad memories on the property. So anyway, I remember I remember them saying, Matt, come upstairs. I was like, oh, so I come upstairs and there's my dad in his, you know, in his work clothes. You know, it's work clothes. I sit down. Okay, so he sits over here because they had a sectional, an L-shaped couch, right? And their fancy dining room or fancy living room, whatever you want to call it, right? So I come up the stairs. I go towards where he is, right? Because I can hear him talking to the other dad. My stomach's actually starting to hurt, guys. Too much milk. I don't do milk. I'm done. So I remember him saying, hi, Matthew, how are you? And I'm like, hi. And I don't even say dad. I just say hi. And then she's like, okay, well, I'm going to leave you guys alone. You guys chat. I'll come back. She's like, nice to see you, Mr. Cross. Da-da-da-da. Or nice to see you, Mike. I'll see you later. You know, whatever, something like that. And then she would leave. And I was so ready to leave, guys. Like, because my dad was just, he was just taking her side. We just want you to obey and did it. I'm like, can I talk now? And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, I did nothing wrong. I said, me and him were joking around. It went too far. Mom thought I was attacking him. I was not attacking him. He does his little fake cry and she believes it. And then I'm in trouble. And so then he's like, well, that's not what I'm like, it doesn't matter what you heard. You're going to take her side because she's your wife and you have to. You don't know the true story because you weren't there. There's no cameras. There's nothing. At this time, there were no cameras. So I was just like, you know, I was like, this is pointless. I'm like, are we done? And then he's like, watch your mouth. I'm like, no, are we done? Because you don't care to hear what I have to say. And I know I'm not going home tonight. So are we done? And then he's like, well, I'll come back. I'll come see you when I think that you've learned your lesson. And I'm just like, okay, bye. And he left and then he went out the door. Guys, I stayed with this family for 7 months. My mom went crazy. My brother went crazy. I ran away literally every single day just to come back home. And I don't even know why. To this day, I'm like, what the hell did I run back home to? Like, I could have been free from this crap. But then I remember this one time. Though I ran it right. By this time, I think I've been with them like 2 months by this time, right? And I would see the doctor and I'm like, can I come back? And she's like, no, I'm trying. And she tries to fight me every time. I'm like, but I'm not her property. I'm not her son. Like, isn't it my choice? I'm not a baby. So she's like, yeah, let me see what I can do. I'm like, okay. But I would run away every single day and I would walk in the rain, the cold. I didn't give a what it was. I would try to walk home. I would get always the farthest to our church. And then I would go into church. There was this little old man that everyone loved at the church, right? I think he was gay. Honestly, I really do. But, you know, you don't talk about that in religion. But just the way he acted nowadays, I do think he was gay. He would always be, hi, Matt, what you doing? Where's your parents? And so I didn't know that he was undercover for that family because I would go and sit in the front desk, right? And this is like a Tuesday night, Monday night, whatever, Monday morning, Monday afternoon, by the time I got to the church. And I would get on the phone and I would call my mom because I only knew my home number. And so I would call my mom. I'd be talking to her and she'd be like, yes, Matthew, we want to come home. How did you get here? How did you get to the church? I'm like, I walked. It's raining. It's pouring. I'm like, I don't care. I walked. I'm like, Mom, I want to come home. I want to come home. And so she would start crying. Then my little brother was like, I want to say hi. So I talked to him and he's like, I miss you. I want you to come home. I hate that family. I hate that family for stealing you. Those stupid vegetarian idiots. Like he hated them. And then he's like, me and William were going to come get you because William was my best friend. And they were like, you know, they were trying to find a way to like kidnap me and get me to come home. I thought it was funny. And then the kid, the old man would be like, oh, so and so is here at the church, you know, because this is when cell phones, no kids really had cell phones. So she's like, so and so, oh, can you hold him there? I'm on my way. And I'm like, this bitch. Like, I was so mad that he was such a snitch. So here she would come. She'd drive up under the little pavilion thing, and I would see her ugly ass green van that, you know, hold 18 people or 16 people. And then she's like, what are you doing? We thought you were just going to the bathroom. How did you get all the way down here at the church? And da 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 da. And then, you know, she's running her mouth. This is not right. This is da 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 da. You're supposed to be with us. And I'm like, I don't give up. I'm not supposed to be with you. So then she's like, well, you're going to miss your surprise. You're going to miss your surprise. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Your surprise. So the next week was debate week, right? So the church would hold this debate. And so that day, we went to this bigger church than our little church. And this church was humongous. It had like 3 floors of parking. And I ran. I tried to run away that day too. And I remember I was, finally they found me or whatever it was, right? It was so hot that day. I was like, fuck it. So I went inside to go get a drink of water. Her kids were having debates. And she's like, oh, there you are. Why do you keep running? She's like, come here. I have to tell you something. So I'm like, fine. So then I go with her and she's like, here's your surprise. And it was my best friend, Dylan, who I've not seen for a long time since they left our church. I literally like hugged this person and like he knew me. He's like, all right, can me and Matt go talk outside? And she's like, yeah, don't go far. Let me see where you're at. And he's like, what's going on, bro? Like, tell me. And I'm like, bro, I've been kidnapped. This family won't let me leave. Da, 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 da. He's like, bro, I got you. So we just sit and we talk, we joke, we laugh about like stuff because we've known each other since the 1st grade. So we laugh, we're joking around, we're talking, whatever. And I will never forget. So then his mom comes out and he goes, mom, we have to get Matt. Matt is not in a good situation. So her mom is like, okay, let me call his mom and I'll be right back with you. Let me see if she wants me to take him today. So she goes and she calls my mom and then she comes back and she, listen, your mom is trying to get you. She wants to get you. She said that, you know, she doesn't want to disobey her husband, but she wants you to come home. Your little brother says hi. She's like, I'm going to try to just get you for 1 weekend just so you can get a break and let's see what happens. So I'm like, okay, fine. So we say goodbye. I was like, don't leave. I really don't want you to. I was like really dramatic and depressed because I'm 14, guys. I'm young, right? And so I'm like scared. So I'm like, Dylan, don't leave. He's like, bro, I gotta go, but I'll see you. I promise. We're gonna come get you this weekend. I promise. He's like, because his dad was a lawyer, so his dad's like, doesn't play that shit. And his dad loved me. So like his dad thought I was like the best person for his son, like the best friend, everything. Anyways, his dad just loved our family. And so they went home, talked to their dad, whatever, started calling other church members to try to see how they could get me. Then I remember I come home, I get a whooping. I don't know how the hell this guy thought he could spank me. I don't know why he thought he could spank me. But dude, I remember there was this thing. To me, it looked like a screwdriver, but it had this it had this plastic thing. And it was big for parents who wanted to, you know, to hit their kids, but not be abusive. Like a lot of like cults and churches and stuff would like, some stupid church came up with this way to spank your kids, but not use bruises. So I remember he used that on me and I was like, wait a minute. I ain't one of your kids. And 2, I know for a fact, my mom never said that you could spank me. I knew that. So I remember after he was done spanking me, I was so pissed. I didn't cry.